are listening to the Freeform Rock Podcast with Mark Alden Taylor.
Welcome to the Freeform Rock Podcast. With me as always is Mr. Lee Gershman. What's up, Lee?
How you doing, Mark? I'm doing not bad.
I'm doing okay. This is take 2 is the podcast we just recorded. But stupid me had his microphone not plugged in and was using the wrong microphone. So it sounded like total shit.
Yeah, I wish I could have had some vodka. And then when it didn't work, I would go, damn it, and take another vodka so then I feel even more like shit.
Yeah, I don't want to feel like shit. I had stuff to do, man. I gotta get this shit going. But
well, to me, shit is S-H-I-T, so hot, it's terrific.
Alright, so today we're doing an album again by Wishbone Ash from 1974 called There's the Rub. Well, this is rubbing me raw right now because this is the second time we're doing this, but okay. Yep. But before we get into that, we got our top 5 keyboard players. So what is your fifth? Who's in 5th place for you, Lee?
Oh, I would have to say I rather like Max Middleton from when he performed with Jeff Beck doing stuff like Three-Way Jam. He was on the Blow by Blow album and he was pretty good. He also did stuff when Jeff Beck was like acting like a not very nice guy, which is throughout all of his career pretty much. But no, I'm sorry, Jeff, in case you listen to this. But anyway, Max Middleton's a good jazzy kind of keyboard player who I think still sometimes does stuff now.
That's cool, man. Well, mine is Neil Daugherty from REO Speedwagon. Even though Kevin plays a lot of piano, this guy could freaking jam. I love him. Saw him in concert so many times. He's like he's the forgotten member of REO. He's kind of like the original member, the only original member left, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Kevin was he wasn't original. He was on the second album, but yeah, Neil's the only one who's really left of the original band. So
yeah, the original. Yeah.
So it's kind of like Foreigner.
Yeah, Terry Luttrell, he was the original guy, but then he went on to do Starcastle. So maybe they should say, "Hey, Terry, we need you to do a reunion with REO Speedwagon." And he's saying, "Well, I'm doing a reunion of the original guys in Starcastle." And they go, "But if you do the reunion with us, it'll be the original guys in REO, but you don't understand, I'm doing an original with Starcastle." And they argue. Yeah.
So they got Starcastles in the stream?
I wouldn't be surprised if that's their next song.
All right.
I'd say you should ask for credit.
So who's number 4 for you?
That would be Jan Hamer. He also worked with Jeff Beck in There and Back, which was a cool album, and he worked with him on stuff like Blue Wind, which was a great song, and he's kind of jazzy, and I would have picked him closer on the list, except he's not always considered to be rock, but he is really great.
Yeah, and I'm gonna what I said on the last podcast, I messed up, so I could fix it. Yeah, he's the guy who did the Miami Vice soundtrack and the theme for Miami Vice, so I know that dude.
Yeah.
I didn't mix him up with Harold Faltermeyer this time. Oh shit! Now you know.
Yeah. Well. I was. Yeah. I like Bon Jovi. Oops. Sorry. I screwed up. Now we're even. Remember, I said Bon Jovi or Von Bovi. So I'm not that screwed up.
All right, and then my next one is the great Geddy Lee. He can play bass, sing, and keyboards at the same time. And if you guys don't like the 80s Rush albums, you know what you could do? Go have a drink.
Yeah, and then put on something that I suggest. But nobody does that. Nobody ever listens to my advice.
I listen to your advice once in a while.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I'm talking about everyone else.
Yeah, everyone else go watch his videos on YouTube and give him likes, man. For God's sake.
Yeah, man.
Make this man wants to be the center of attention. Do it.
Yay! Well, yeah. I'm a bitch. I'm a beautiful, intelligent, totally cool human. So yeah, make sure you keep me bitching.
Yeah, keep him bitching or he'll bitch.
Hey, well, you didn't. Say
Nobody's liking my videos. Whoever disliked me on my videos, I'm blocking your asses.
I was pissed. I was drunk and I was like, I just put that up, and then I thought, oh shit, who the fuck is doing this? Because I just put it up. It must be someone from one of the groups, and so I was pretty pissed.
I'd be pretty.
And then the more I talked about it, the more people kept doing it. And then some people, it looked like some people who voted no voted yes just to get me off their back. And then I think that they gave me compliments saying, poor Lee, we're sorry it happened, when they might have been the ones who already did it. So I don't know. I don't know who did it.
It could have been your friends just fucking with you.
Yeah, like, oh, click here, click there. Oops, you got 2 likes. You got 5 dislikes. Oh, nope. You got 5 likes. You got 2 dislikes. Oh, no, you got 2 likes. You got 200 dislikes. Yeah, leave it like that. Yeah.
All right, well, let's get to my number 3, which is Rick Wakeman of Yes. I love him. He's made a couple bad solo albums, but with Yes, he's perfect. So who's your number 2?
My number 3.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Is that's okay. And Rick Wakeman only did. No, he did a few bad solo albums, but anyway, Billy Preston, because Billy Preston, he's not like a flashy player, but he's great because he played with the Beatles in songs like Get Back, and with the Rolling Stones on some of their albums, and he really did a great job, and they really sounded good because of him. So I'd say Billy Preston is like the spice in some of the groups that he worked with from England, and so he was really cool.
Nice. Well, I already told you my number 3, so what's your number 2?
Oh, you already told me your number 3?
Which is Rick Wakeman, remember?
Oh, okay. I have to wake up. So it's like Rick Wakeman and Lee, get up, man. But anyway, my number 2 would be Tony Banks from Genesis, because he has a very interesting sound, and some of his songs are a little like unusual, but he has a very distinct sound that I really like, and I thought he worked good in Genesis.
Yes, he's a great keyboardist. I love Genesis, man. I freaking like the freaking doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo, you know, freaking, and this is what she said to me. Doo-doo-doo-doo,
yeah,
doo-doo-doo-doo,
right on.
I love that fucking so good.
I love the one that goes, you and I, we go together.
I think you may have been high when you heard that one.
Oh yeah, high up in the high up in the clouds where they took me, so I couldn't get at those people who gave my videos a thumbs down.
Fucking bastards.
Yeah.
Fucking assholes.
Put them in the playpen. Give them a bunch of slop.
You should give
them a bunch of 80s crap music.
You should give that tone like you do in the Rock and Metal Combat podcast, where you go, they banned me!
Yeah. I'll go, you'll be heavy metal lip jam.
Alright, what's your number 2, Lee?
Oh,
Did you already said your number 2?
Yeah, that would be Tony Banks.
Okay,
he's really good. You know, he's. I just wanted an excuse to do that, so that's why I repeated it.
All right. Well, my number 2 is the great John Lord from frickin' Deep Purple. That dude was in a band with great musicians, but he frickin' stood out. Fucking great. Frickin' Perfect Strangers beginning. Oh my God, it's so.
Yep.
It's so good, man. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was really. Yeah.
Yeah, John Lord's a master. And then what's your number 1, Lee?
Oh, my number 1 would be Rick Wakeman.
Oh, my number 3.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's my number 1. And so, you know, I really like him. I like some of the Henry VIII album. I would say that, the King Arthur one is kind of like, I bought it. I think I played it, and then I went to get a orange soda, and then I didn't come back in the room until it was over, and I didn't play it ever again. So that's how it is. But I liked him, and I thought he was a great, pompous kind of a keyboard player who said he was good. But hey, if he's good, he has the right to say it. Right on, Rick. I think you're really cool.
Yeah, Rick is cool, and like I said on the last, I liked Anderson, Wakeman, Buford, and Al, which you haven't really listened to. You just thought they just put it together in stitches.
Yeah, I thought that. I thought that, and I kept buying it, and I kept trying to listen to it, and I think once actually it played all the way through, but I fell asleep, so I don't know what I heard.
All right, so then my number 1 is the great Richard Wright. Fucking Pink Floyd without him isn't Pink Floyd. Like, I love him.
I should have thought of him.
Yeah, you shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah. Ah.
Your hatred, Lib Jam. I hate you.
Hey. Well, you could be the guest on my next album, and I'll be Mr. Jam, and you can be Sir Marmalade.
I could play harmony to your lips.
Yeah.
Wait. That didn't sound right. No. I could sit in with your. I could sit in with your jam.
Hey,
wait, that doesn't sound right either. Oh, I just scratch everything.
Well, hey, in Frisco, especially in the Castro Center, that album would sell.
All right, Richard Wright is so good, man. A lot of Pink Floyd songs wouldn't be Pink Floyd without Richard, man. Rip Richard Wright and rip John Lord, man. We love you guys. Because everybody else is alive on this list except those two.
Yeah.
And I picked the dead ones. You didn't.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the Grateful Dead.
I hate that band.
Yeah.
And then honorary mentions go out to Billy Powell of Leonard Skinner and Rick and Emerson from Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Yep. And
right.
I also like, I like Keith Emerson, and I also like, I forget who the actual keyboard player was in Country Joe and the Fish. It could have been a guy I think named either Barry Cohen or Mark Cohen. It was either him or Country Joe McDonald did the keyboard playing, or it could have been Barry Melton. I forget who, but one of those guys was the keyboard player, and he was really good. And he did songs like The Masked Marauder and Not So Sweet Martha Lorraine, and that keyboard work is great.
Yeah, and then we get to, before we get into Wishbone Ash, we have a new composition from the great Lee Gershman. Can you introduce it for us, please?
Yeah, well, it's called Continuation, and what happened was, I usually like to have a hand touch, sometimes from a lady, maybe a cashier or something, when they give me change, and then I might go home and write something. And so I went to see Kelsey Walden in a club in San Francisco called Hotel Utah. It was a bar, and it was a really cool place, and she played really well. And then after that, I bought her CDs, and then when I had her sign them, and then when she gave them back to me, our hands touched a little bit. And then so I thought, wow, that's cool. I have energy. So now when I get home, I'll be able to do some songs on the keyboard. And so this just happens to be one of the songs that I did.
Nice. So here's continuation by the great Lee Gershman on the Freeform Rock Podcast.
Not one instance alone. I used to think quite the opposite, and then I had grown. If I see you again, that's okay, but if not, I'll do just fine. Continuing on in my own way, and believe me, I'll have a good time. Limits are limits, no matter what, they sometimes don't make sense. That was one thing I realized when you jumped over the fence. If I see you again, that's okay, but if not, I'll do just fine. Continuing on in my own way, and believe me, I'll have a good time.
That was continuation by the great Lee Gershman. Now let's get into this album by Wishbone Ash. It was released November 1974. It's the 5th studio album by them, and is the first to feature guitarist, vocalist Laurie Icefield, who would be a major part of the band's creative direction for the next 11 years. The album is considered by many to be the high point of the band's career, and the title was taken from Shakespeare's Hamlet: to sleep, perchance to dream, ah, there's the rub. All right, man, let's get into this album, Lee. So the first track, Silver Shoes, what do you think about this one?
Well, it starts somewhat mellow in a way I'm not fond of, but when the song kicks in, it becomes one of those cool rockers, but it's more like a ballad rocker until the middle part, which is really kick-ass and a great moment on the album. They showed that having a new guitarist wasn't going to stop their momentum.
Yeah, I love the acoustic beginning. The killer riff comes in, kind of sounds like Yes, Starship Trooper, but turns into its own and has a great bass groove. This is a great song, and the solo is amazing and rips. I love it. And I like the way the singer's going with the guitar going ba ba ba, and the guitar's going rah 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 with him. It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, they do that sometimes, and it's really cool.
Yeah, and you said that it was like that Laurie took that from his other band, right?
Yeah. Well, it sounds a little bit the style like. Well, he was in a band called Home, and I think he was kind of. He didn't Wishbone Ash better, but they did have some songs that were really cool in Home, and this kind of has a sound, especially the acoustic part, and then later of some of Home. So you could tell that he brought his influence, even though Andy Powell also brought his influence in it, and they really worked well together, I thought.
All right, well, let's get to the next song, which you picked. So here's "Don't Come Back" by Wishbone Ash on the Freeform Rock Podcast. That was Don't Come Back by Wishbone Ash. Why did you pick this song, Lee? And why did you
Well,
come back?
Why? I was like, I didn't say I didn't want to come back. I said I wanted to come back. Damn it.
All right.
But anyway, this song is a great example of their swagger. I'm surprised a song like this isn't on FM radio. The twin guitars of Andy Powell and Laurie Weisfeld work perfectly on this song, and the soloing is some of their best. Great tune.
Yeah, it's starts off grooving, keeps going, smoking solo. Man, this guy jams. Great song. I like it. Good pick, Lee.
Yep.
And then we get into the next track, which how do you say it again?
It's Persephone.
I was gonna say Persephophone.
yeah. It's like the guy in the cover who I thought looked kind of sexual with "There's the Rub." Like, what's he rubbing so close to there, and why is it so red? And who would want to come near him then? But the thing with the phone, they might say, "What's that you're rubbing, sir?" And he's saying, "That's my Persephophone."
Yeah, because the cover was done by Hypnosis, a cricketer rubbing in a polishing effect a cricket ball on his trousers, leaving a mark, a common practice by fast bowlers who do so to make one side of the leather ball shinier than the other. Then helps the ball to swing as it travels through the air after being bowled. Makes it harder for a batsman to play. Just like baseball when they're spitting on it.
So now, if I go out and someone says, "Ooh, you look bad. Why you have all those stains on your clothes?" I'll say, "I'm going golfing, bub."
You could just say I was rubbing my ball.
Yeah. No, I can't, because last time I did that, I had a guy in a blue uniform say, "Excuse me, sir, are you okay?"
I saw a meme and it said, I asked these two people wearing matching clothes if they were gay, and they arrested me.
Oh yeah.
Cops. All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, what do you think about Persephone?
Oh, well,
Persephone.
sometimes they like to do slower, moodier songs, and they that have a little bit of a folk music edge to it, but done in a rocking way. And this is one of their best. It's the way they play it that makes it work, and the soloing and the guitar work give it just enough heaviness to keep it from being a filler track. I could imagine David Gilmour playing this song. I dig it.
Yeah, it's bluesy beginning, slow jam. Love the harmony and the organ, very atmospheric. The organ is, and the mandolin that goes into a cool lead. Some Pink Floyd, David Gilmour here, man. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you said that on the first show that you thought it sounded like Gil Martell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also said that we weren't going to review that damn Bon Jovi album after all.
Fuck.
That we were going to throw it away.
We were doing freaking Bounce next week, man.
Ew. Bounce the balls. There's the Rub. Put some Bon spaghetti on it.
Or we could do their last album. This house is not for sale.
As long as you sing it, if I'm drunk enough, I might not throw up.
All right. Well, let's get into the next track. Well, I already said what. I can't say the word again. Hometown by Wishbone Ash, which you pick. So here's Hometown by Wishbone Ash on the Freeform Rock Podcast. That was Hometown by Wishbone Ash. Why'd you pick that track, Lee?
Well, this sounds like something you'd hear on a commercial on Monday Night Football, even though you don't. Really cool for a rocker. It sounds like it would be their regular song they'd play in concert, but I don't know if I've ever heard a live version of it. I've heard them do Persephone, and they do some of their slower tunes, but I could so imagine this on FM radio, but it isn't. How weird. It's perfect for radio.
Yes, it's my favorite off here. It's an album track. No, it's not my favorite off here, I mean. And it's an album track, but it's good with riffs and grooves. I like it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's not my favorite on here, but it's pretty good. But wait a minute. Wait a minute, this is my favorite. Damn it! I'm starting to sound like you. Shit.
I know you picked it. I was going, what?
Yeah, and I thought, why did Mark pick it? Oh wait, I picked it. You're influencing me again. Oh boy. I'm too sober. When we're both sober, we're like those two policemen.
I know. I make more mistakes when I'm sober, though. When I'm a little buzzed, I'm more smooth. At least I think I am. I think I'm more like smooth jazz when I'm drunk.
Yeah, I forget counting. I'm like I put the days I was doing fine on one pile, and then the days I was kind of messing up on the other pile, and I screwed up the list, so I said, screw it, I ain't counting anymore.
Alright, so let's get to the next track, which you picked again. So here's Lady J.
Yep.
On the Freeform Rock Podcast. Okay, that was Lady J. Why did you pick that song, Lee, even though it wasn't your favorite?
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite. Wait, it is my favorite. You, damn it. No, it's your favorite. No, it isn't your favorite. No,
Damn it,
I don't
Jim.
know anymore. I don't know what to say. Well, anyway, Noam, this is actually one of the best songs on the album besides Don't Come Back. It's another folk rock song, but it rocks really well and the guitar work is great. It's a really awesome deep cut.
Yeah, it's they are awesome. This band's really good. The songs are great. Guitar tone
Yeah.
and vocal harmonies. It's like a harder Crosby, Stills, and Nash. The guitarist is awesome, Lee, and then he goes into a lead with the banjo. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And I think
Well,
I
we
asked
can
you
do a banjo album.
I think I asked you how did they play the banjo in concert with the lead going into it.
I haven't heard on the tracks that I've heard them do. I haven't heard them do banjo.
Oh, it'd be cool if they had a banjo player up there with them to do it, to go into it. Are they still around?
Actually, I think that well, there's two versions of them. There's one with Andy Powell, and I think that they performed or are going to perform in New York in a few months. So they're still around with different members except for just him. And then the other guy, Martin Turner, he has his own version, which he was calling Martin Turner's Wishbone Ash, but Andy Powell said you can't do that. You can say you were from the group, but you can't put that it's your version of the group. And so Martin Turner got kind of pissed off and he said, I'll never work with Andy Powell again. So sometimes some of the original members work with Martin Turner, but there's like two different versions of the players going on. And so it's yeah, they're kind of still playing, but in two different versions. The drummer retired completely, but he did do one show with Martin Turner, and the original guy, I think his name was Ted Turner. He just happened to be same last name. They weren't related. He played on a couple of things, and so did Laurie Weisfeld with Martin Turner, but they haven't played with Andy Powell. But Andy Powell's group is really good, and they still play the songs well, and they're worth hearing. And I think it was a club gig, so I think the prices were kind of not too expensive.
Alright, so let's get to the last song, which is an acronym called Fucked Up Beyond Belief, which I guess they did this before Van Halen's Fuck album. It caused a little bit of controversy with that acronym. So let's get into this. Fub. What do you think about this one? It's a long instrumental.
Yeah, and the name kind of sounds to me like bleh. And I don't know if you heard the burp at the end of it. There's a big long burp, I think, that they slowed down, so it sounds like bleh. But anyway, no Wishbone Ash album is perfect, and this song to me seems like it's just Martin Turner's wanting his bass to sound up front in the song, but he's not doing much. For a jam session, it's like murky bath water. If it was speeded up to 78 speed, that might help it. With that being said, at least it musically fits the album, and finally it gets faster, and I think they should have just put the fast part on and keep off the slow part. There are parts of the song I can dig, but when I usually listen to this album, this is the one song I skip.
You reminded me with Speed It Up to 78 Speed, Cheech and Chong's Let's Make a Dope Deal. So, hey,
Yeah.
Bob, so why did you drop out? Well, man, I played Black Sabbath on 78 Speed and I saw God, man.
Wow, that's cool.
Because you know how Black Sabbath is really slow.
Yeah. In fact, that was one thing that I thought when I first got their albums. I went, they're heavy, but come on, guys, pick up the pace. You know, I was like, I'm into like Rolling Stones and Ted Nugent, where, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm down to like 1. Okay, I'm going to rest for a little bit. 2. Okay, I'm going to go to Europe and come back. 3, 4, like that.
All right. Well, I thought this song was a little bit way too long and a long bass intro that went nowhere. But then the song picks up and gets kind of groovy. I think they should have cut it down to 6 minutes, not 9 minutes and 33 seconds. And that burp was stupid.
Yeah.
So before we get into our ending shenanigans, I'm going to play you Cheech and Chong's "Let's Make a Dope Deal" on the Freeform Rock Podcast.
And now it's time for America's favorite daytime fun show, Let's Make a Dope Deal. Yeah, it's Let's Make a Dope Deal, where young pushers try to parlay their stash into that really big connection and jump up into dealerhood. And our first contestant today on Let's Make a Dope Deal is former head of the philosophy department at Harvard University. He is the holder of a PhD, an MA, a BA, and is a BMF besides. Would you please give a big warm welcome for Bob Bitchin? Come on, let's have a hand for Bob Bitchin. Here he is all the way from Harvard, Bob Bitchin. Well, it's really great to have you on the show tonight, Bob. How you doing?
Bitchin'.
Well, isn't that far out and solid and right on, Bob? Tell us, Bob, here's the question I ask of all our contestants. What made you drop out?
Well, a lot of people think it was the 400 acid trips they took, you know.
But what was it really, Bob?
One day I played Black Sabbath at 78 speed, man.
And then what happened?
I saw God.
You
I've
saw
done
God.
that,
Well, that
man.
sounds like true enlightenment to me,
Yeah,
Bob.
with
Tell us,
Grand
Bob, what have you
Funk.
been doing with all those degrees? I noticed you had a PhD, an MA, and a BA. What have you been doing with all that knowledge?
Making candles, man.
Making candles. Well, that sounds creative, Bob. What kind of candles are they?
Oh, they're really neat table candles, you know.
Table candles?
Yeah, you pour wax on a table
Uh-huh.
and you set it on fire, man.
Well, that sounds like a hot item, Bob. Okay, you ready to play our game?
Yeah, man.
Okay, here we go. Now, you know the rules. You get fronted with a stash of 50 keys, and you can wager part of them or just some of them on any one of our tests.
50 keys?
50 keys.
Can I quit now?
No, not yet, Bob. You have to play our game. Okay, Bob, how many want to wager on the first test?
All of them.
All of them is going to shoot the works, or main line, as we call it here on Let's Make a Dope Deal. Okay, Bob, for 50 keys. What is your name? You have 60 seconds.
Hey, I know that one, man.
Starts with a B.
Then what is it, man?
I knew it when I came in here, man.
Ends with a B.
Oh, don't tell me. Happy birthday.
10 seconds, Bob.
Bob!
Bob! All right, Bob! And you win 50
I knew
keys
it.
for the tensions mounted here on Let's Make a Dope Deal.
Hey, how you get
Oh,
on
boy,
it?
Bob, now you have
I
100
can
keys.
do that.
Almost did. Okay, here we go for the second plateau. How many keys do you want to wager this time?
All of them.
All of them is going to
go for
shoot
it
the works
again,
again,
man.
huh? What balls he has. Okay, here we go, Bob. For another 100 keys. How many joints are in a lid? 30 seconds.
Oh, I know that one. Two.
Two.
Yeah, I rolled big joints.
Our judges say that's okay. They roll big joints too, and you win another 100 keys. Boy, the pressure's building. Here we go, Bob. Okay. Okay, now we're going for the big and final test. Okay, in front of you, you see 3 doors marked door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3. Behind one of those doors, Bob,
number 3,
is
man.
50 pounds of Lebanese blonde hash. Makes your eyes red just thinking about them, huh? Okay,
Number
Bob,
3,
I'm going to make you
man.
do it. I'll give you $50 and 50 reds for your keys right now.
Oh, take the red.
No,
man.
I'll give you $1,000 and 50 reds.
I want the hash.
He wants the
Yeah,
hash. Okay, Bob, here we go.
I take
Now I
the
must remind you that
red.
behind the other 2 doors are narcs. Okay, Bob, here we go. What'll it be? Will it be door number 1, door number 2, or
Or what?
narcs? There's 2 narcs behind the other.
I'll take the bread, man.
I'm sorry, Bob. It's too late. You have to choose. What'll it be? 1, 2, or 3?
Number 3.
4. No, Bob. There's only 3. I know you're nervous. Okay. 1, 2, or 3?
2, 1.
2, 1. No.
Oh,
What?
number 3, man. Number 3.
1, 2.
3, 2, 1.
Oh,
What's he doing?
One. Black light, no tap backs. Okay. You chose door number 1. Let's see who's behind that door. It's Officer O'Malley, the FBI. You're busted. Join us next week when we play Let's Make a Dope Deal.
What happened, man?
Well, man, that was Cheech and Chong. That's not vodka.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's not water. That's vodka, man.
Yeah.
Lee's drink of choice. So we're gonna.
Ew.
That was Wishbone Ashes There's the Rub with Martin Turner, bass, lead vocals, Andy Powell, acoustic, electric guitars, backing vocals, mandolin, Laurie Wisefield, acoustic, electric, steel guitars, backing vocals, and banjo. And then Steve Upton, drums and percussion. Produced by the Eagles producer, Bill Seismic. So this was a pretty good album, Lee, and I liked it. Thank you.
Right on. Cool.
So now we get into our tracks of the week, and I picked Phil Collins, Something Happened on the Way to Heaven. And you picked a country rocker, Casey Walden, which you explained that you wrote that song Continuation because she touched your hand. False King. And so we're going to say goodbye until next week, and we could have a special guest on the episode doing Oasis, or we could be doing Genesis. So whatever happens until next week, Lee, say goodbye.
Okay, until next week, I say goodbye.
Goodbye, and don't let the door hit you on the way out. All right, here's our tracks. Phil Collins and Kelsey Walden. Take it sleazy.
When I say you can't place a crown on a heavy clown, I just know you can't place a crown on a hell of a clown, and then I'll be turned at the bend.
This is Audio Tree Live.
You have just listened to the Freeform Rock Podcast. All music played on the Freeform Rock Podcast belongs to its owner. If you like it, go out and buy it. Get your music on Amazon, iTunes, or at your local record store. Support what you love. Support the artist by seeing them live. Purchase their music. The Freeform Rock Podcast is not affiliated with any of the artists or music that we play. Thank you for listening to the Freeform Rock Podcast. We'll see you on the next episode. Until next time, stay free and rock on.